Welcome back, everybody, as we talk about shoreline fishing on this week's episode. Next up, once you've chosen your location, let's talk about how you go about fishing and covering the available water that you have. What I like to do is start off with a fast-moving bait to try to trigger a reaction strike from actively feeding fish, like a topwater, a buzzbait, a spinnerbait. Then I'll turn around and fish back down the same stretch of water with a slower moving bait to try to tantalize a non-actively feeding fish into striking. Now I'll walk over here and show you some of the baits that I like to use for shoreline fishing. The first one is a buzzbait. It's a fairly weedless lure that you can crawl over rocks and around stumps. It won't get snagged very easily and will attract a reaction strike. Secondly, a spinnerbait will do the same thing. It's also fairly snag proof because of the wire and the blades that protect the tip of the hook. Then when you go back and slow down a little bit, you can use something like a Texas rigged plastic worm. Again, fairly snag proof because the tip of the hook is buried in the worm. And then if you want to catch maybe crappie and white bass, I would go with something like a little crappie jig or a grub, and you can see I've got it rigged on a weedless head. The plastic weed guard protects the tip of the hook from snags. Let's get you over right now to Brian Hughes with your Texas freshwater fishing and lake reports for this week.
Hi everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Brass and Blades, the bait with twice the bite. Now, one of our viewers, Gerald, sent in a question asking about catching bass on Lake Conroe where the grass is gone. He's having a tough time. I was just at Conroe for the PAA Texas Bass Classic, some of the best anglers in the world fishing this tournament. 3 anglers in particular missed the cut on Sunday, so I was able to ask Gerald's question to them. Kevin Van Dam, Gerald Swindle, and Jason Quinn, and they all had pretty much the same answer. Fish early in the morning with a buzzbait and spinnerbait around the native vegetation that is present, but then you're gonna have to go for structure fishing, and that's either offshore structure with a crankbait or fishing some of the boat docks that are on the lake with either spinnerbaits, small crankbaits, or Jason's favorite was a wacky worm or the new shaky head rigs that are out. That's your trick to catching Conroe bass because there's no grass. Now, I was also asked by one of our viewers to mention a coming tournament. The 19th annual Juniors Fishing Tournament, brought to you by Turning Point, is a physically challenged juniors tournament for those 21 and under. It'll be on Lake Ray Hubbard on October the 16th. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Brass and Blades. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island. With its Gulf beaches, great coastal fishing, Arnold Palmer Golf Course, fresh seafood, and nighttime hotspots, Port A is truly Texas Island style. For more information, visit the website on the screen. Well, water temperatures along portions of the Texas coast have fallen through the 80-degree mark. Combined with continued mild days and cool nights, this is going to result in speckled trout becoming more active. On Sabine Lake, the freshwater release from Toledo Bend's drawdown has pushed specks toward the middle and lower portion of the bay systems. Also, the north wind from fronts are pushing more bait from the surrounding marshes into bays. The same scenario is occurring in Trinity, Galveston, Chocolate, and East Matagorda bays. Look for bird activity to increase. Around the jetties at Galveston, Port O'Connor, Port Aransas, Packery Channel, and Port Isabel, big redfish are being caught on large live shrimp as well as live or cut mullet. In the bays, most of the redfish on Estes, around Dagger Island, and either side of the JFK Causeway south to the land cut are slot size. Drift grassy flats, concentrate on potholes fishing piggy perch or soft plastics, and you're going to pick up specks and reds. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
When you're choosing a location for your shoreline fishing, don't forget about some of the tail races below the dams, some of the big reservoirs in our region. Many of these have good park facilities, easy access to the water, and hold some really good fishing because of the moving current attracting both bait fish and game fish up near the dam. Some of the best locations are places like Lake Livingston, Lake Whitney, Lake Texoma, and Lake Keystone up in Oklahoma. Stay with us. Coming up next, Heather has your Stren Ask the Pro, and I'll have your big fish photo of the week on the big catch of the week.
The Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealers, is brought to you by Nitro Performance Bass Boats. Fish your best in a Nitro. By Strand, the standard of dependability. By Costa Sunglasses, see what's out there. And by Motor Guide, never stop. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report, powered by your Texas Chevy dealers.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for our Ask the Pro feature, brought to you by Strand, the standard of dependability. Our question this week is from Steve in Dallas, who wants to know, what is the best bait for fall bass fishing? For the answer, let's ask professional angler Gary Klein.
Well, I tell you, the lure that I really like to fish in the fall more than anything else is a jig. I'm a die-hard jig fisherman. The fall is a great time of the year to fish a jig.
Thank you, Gary. If you have a question for one of the pros, visit our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Click on the Strand Ask the Pro link and send us your information. Now let's get you back to Barry for our Whataburger Big Catch of the Week.
It is time for our Big Catch of the Week photo this week, and congratulations goes to Dana Polk of Allen, Texas. She is shown with a 30-pound redfish she caught out of Galveston Bay. Now, if you'd like to send us your big fish photo, go to our website, southwestoutdoorsreport.com. Right on the front page is a place where you can click to join our fan club. It's free. You'll have access to the members-only section of our site, which includes my weekly blog, the Ask the Pro question. You can send your question in, the Big Catch of the Week photo contest where you can send us your photo, and a page where you can get all my favorite guides, places to stay, and good places to fish around the region. Hey, don't forget also that next week our show will be on Thursday night at 10:30 or immediately after the Dallas Stars postgame show if the game runs late past 10 p.m. And in the Houston area, we'll be on at 10:30 Thursday night or immediately after the Big 12 football postgame show if that game runs late past 10 p.m. And just to be safe, we're always on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. If you'd like to take your bank fishing to the next level and dramatically increase your chances of success and catching more fish, then use some of the tips and strategies that we've talked about on this week's show. Hey, good luck out there this coming weekend from the shore. See you next week. Until then, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.